Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive administrative headache for government authorities, managing and transitioning national biodiversity tracking. We're talking about moving from highly vulnerable, decaying paper records to a truly secure digital ecosystem. If you're an official tasked with enforcing the Biological Diversity Act, you know exactly how daunting this mandate is. It's a logistical mountain. But we're going to unpack a comprehensive solution called the Village Biodiversity Register, or VBR. And that brings us to the core question of the day. How can authorities realistically track, verify, and protect decades of ecological data across thousands of localized villages? I mean, just imagine trying to track down one specific endangered plant record buried among thousands of physical folders. It's a nightmare, right? Right now, across the country, vital ecological records, from rare medicinal plants to endangered wild fauna, are meticulously documented on paper. It's an enormous, error-prone burden to manage manually, leaving invaluable data completely exposed to physical damage, loss, and fragmentation.
So here is our roadmap for today. We're breaking this complex administrative challenge into 6 key strategic pillars: the compliance crisis, the VBR solution, geographic visibility, security and IP protection, accountability and audits, and finally, total mandate compliance.
All right, jumping right into Section 1, the compliance crisis and the vulnerabilities of the status quo. We really have to look at the severe risks of keeping decades of irreplaceable ecological records sitting in old filing cabinets.
It's honestly like night and day when you look at it. There is an extreme contrast between those highly susceptible, unregulated paper logs we're currently using and the strict digital compliance demands of the National Biodiversity Authority. With paper records, retrieving historical data or trying to aggregate statistics across multiple villages requires incredibly tedious manual data entry. It basically makes large-scale government research impossible. Furthermore, text-based registers separate the data from the visual proof, so photographs of species are often stored on random, unlinked hard drives, totally reducing the scientific validity of the official record. But the NBA? They demand permanent data, instant aggregation, and verifiable photographic evidence directly linked to every single record. And this whole crisis really boils down to this exact number: 31. There are 31 distinct, complex, government-mandated formats that cover everything from agrobiodiversity and domesticated species to wild flora, fauna, and urban ecology. And right now, officials are laboriously trying to compile these by hand across thousands of villages. Generating these reports is a painful manual process that simply does not scale.
Let's move on to Section 2, the VBR solution. Let's see how GISFY's unified digital ecosystem completely shatters these data silos. Instead of 31 fragmented, messy processes, the VBR platform functions as a single, centralized digital ecosystem. It acts as a universal engine to easily create, read, update, and delete data across all those biological categories. Surveyors and administrators can seamlessly enter, manage, and aggregate data across villages and districts without ever duplicating work. Plus, and this is a real game changer, it effortlessly handles direct file linking. That means photographic evidence is securely uploaded and instantly attached right to the individual species record in one smooth transaction. Which brings us to Section 3, geographic visibility. Because knowing what we have is only half the battle. We need to map our ecology. Traditional registers literally just give you names on a page. They completely fail to capture exact geographic coordinates or ecological distributions. And without those mapping tools, authorities are flying blind. They can't visually identify biodiversity hotspots or monitor endangered ecosystems. The VBR solves this beautifully by automatically plotting approved, geotagged species right onto interactive web maps. It uses dynamic schema discovery, which means the map automatically sniffs out the latitude and longitude data and renders it visually. You can toggle views to filter specific categories, handing authorities immediate spatial visual proof of their region's exact ecology. Now for Section 4, security and IP protection. We need to talk about safeguarding traditional knowledge from a very real, very chilling threat. That threat is biopiracy. Indigenous communities possess highly sensitive, incredibly valuable medicinal and commercial knowledge about local flora. People registers leave this completely exposed to unauthorized commercial exploitation. So, a standout feature of the VBR is intelligent TK masking, TK standing for traditional knowledge. This automated security layer detects fields flagged as confidential, like commercial or medicinal uses, and actively redacts them deep at the system level for unauthorized viewers.
If you look at it as a public viewer, it literally just reads confidential. This guarantees absolute IP protection for Indigenous communities, while still allowing authorized admins the full visibility they need. And the platform backs this all up with serious enterprise-grade security. It utilizes strict role-based access control, defining very distinct authorization levels for administrators, biodiversity management committee members, surveyors, and public viewers. Crucially, it features BMC-scoped security. This is an automatic restriction ensuring that local committee members can only access and modify data strictly within their specific village jurisdiction. It completely locks down the national database from any unwarranted local manipulation.
Moving right along to Section 5, Accountability and Audits. This is where we tackle the massive problem of unverified junk data polluting official records. Look, without a robust approval pipeline, inaccurate species sightings can be permanently etched into the record. The VBR fixes this by introducing an automated approval workflow. It's a staged submission pipeline. Basically, when a field surveyor submits a record, it doesn't just go live, it goes into a hidden pending state. Administrators then use a dynamic approval aggregator, which is a single endpoint that scans all 31 tables simultaneously, allowing them to review submissions incredibly fast. Only after explicit committee approval does that record actually hit the public-facing GIS map. It enforces absolute quality control over national data. And when it comes to accountability, let's be honest, traditional paper systems fail spectacularly. They have absolutely no built-in way to track if someone maliciously modified or accidentally deleted a record. But the VBR maintains immutable audit logs for every single action. It tracks every create, update, delete, approve, and reject action with precise timestamps. It fosters a highly secure data management culture by giving administrators total transparency and constant audit readiness. To help authorities actually make sense of all this incoming data, the platform includes a real-time analytics dashboard. Live charts dynamically calculate and visualize records across all categories, the literal second they are approved. It runs complex database queries to constantly summarize total species counts, pending approvals, and GIS markers, and it does all this without ever slowing down the core application. It essentially gives government officials a real-time, live pulse on their mandates.
Which brings us to our final pillar, Section 6, Total Mandate Compliance. Let's pull this whole systemic resolution together.
Ultimately, adopting this centralized digital ecosystem replaces incredibly slow, error-prone manual labor with true systemic modernization. Because it utilizes structured digital formats, identical to the government requirements, the VBR completely prevents missing fields or incomplete submissions. And here's the best part for administrators. It features one-click PDF and Excel reporting that perfectly matches the official National Biodiversity Authority formatting requirements. This vastly accelerates interdepartmental integration and external reporting. It literally lifts a massive administrative weight right off the shoulders of local governments. The Village Biodiversity Register isn't just a software tool. It is a bridge. Designed by GISFY, an organization with a proven history of delivering integrated solutions for major players like the Asian Development Bank, the World Bank, and various government departments, it bridges the gap between on-the-ground field surveyors, village committees, and top-level administrators, all within a single synchronized environment. It ensures transparent government service delivery and provides a guaranteed pathway to legal compliance.
So, I want to leave you with this thought to reflect on. Are your national biodiversity records truly secure, accurately mapped, and protected from IP theft? Or are they sitting in a paper file somewhere, degrading right now? Transitioning from fragmented lists to an interactive digital registry is no longer just a nice upgrade. It's an absolute necessity for sustaining our future. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to look deeper into the digital transformation of our ecological mandates.